Hello Steelers, and welcome to a belated hobby update bench report. I didn't do one last week simply because it was my 50th birthday last weekend, on the Sunday in fact, which made me miss Joy of Six because I was so tired from the party that we had on the Saturday before, and because of that's why I didn't do a hobby report update last week. I was so busy. We were sorting out the house and things on Friday. We basically spent most of the day doing the DIY that we should have done in the last 6 months, getting it ready for the party, and then just running around and buying party food and things like that. And Saturday obviously was the party day itself, so I was absolutely banjaxed by the time Sunday came round, and I just I couldn't move. So my plan was to go down to Joy of Six and refilm it, but I decided against it on the last minute just because I was so tired, and getting into Sheffield was going to be difficult because apparently there was a lot of roadworks out there. But that means as well, also this week just gone, I've also been on the road as well for work. So I was actually up around Northumberland and also into Scotland and places. So I didn't really get much painting done, and I didn't get much painting done the week before because the weekend before my birthday was my mother's 80th birthday, and we'd organised a surprise party for her. So that took up a huge amount of my time in the lead up to that, and then also with my party coming up as well, there was a lot of that. So I've really not had a huge amount of time to paint this last couple of weeks, but I managed to finish off another battalion of the British Epic from Warlord. This is the 27th Inniskillen Regiment, first battalion of these guys. You'll notice that these have got buff or off-white cross belts, and this is what they wore during the Waterloo campaign at least. There was a few units in the British Army that wore these rather than the white ones. For whatever reason, it was just, a different style of uniform. So that was interesting to do. It's quite nice. Also, I was able to actually paint these as well using that the magnifying glasses that I bought a while ago, and they have, I can't tell you how amazing they are, really. I said it before in the previous hobby updates. I'll put a link to them again in the description down below, an Amazon affiliate link, and I noticed through my affiliate link that about 30 or so people have bought them. They are honestly the best thing I've bought for hobbying in a long time, and they have really improved not only my painting, just my ability to paint as well, and just made me enjoy painting as well. So that's all I painted. I'm finishing off the rest of the sprue at the moment. They should be done this weekend. I'm recording this on Friday as usual. They should be finished though by the end of the weekend, I think. I'm going to spend a couple of hours here and there painting. It's only the 95th Rifles and artillery piece and the Brigadier or the ADC, so not a huge amount to get through with those. But then I also what I want to do as well is then turn back to some French cavalry or even some British cavalry, do some heavy stuff, I think. They made me next on the list because, again, I want to go back to those horses because I just enjoyed painting the Lancers the other week so much. So with my birthday coming up, I'm always on a buying ban from my wife. She severely restricts what I'm allowed to buy in the weeks leading up to birthday and also Christmas. So I've actually not bought anything. Nothing has come through for me. I was happy to wait for the birthday day and also just paint the stuff that I've got as well. I'm pretty much swamped with Vietnam and the Warlord stuff at the moment, so there's no point in buying anything. But that doesn't mean to say that I didn't get anything. I think I got a load of stuff as well for my birthday, so I'll just go through that now. This is not everything, but it is the stuff that is more hobby and history related. There's quite a few other bits and pieces, music related things, and my wife also got me a sheep, adopt a sheep for our wedding anniversary, which is on the day after my birthday. So there was a few other things like that I'm not going to show you because there's not much point. But first of all, this wasn't really a birthday present, but it was kind of sent up by Dave and Liz. And this is Mountains of Madness. They'd bought it and realised it was a 3-player game and they had nobody else to play it with. So Liz has sent it up to me, at least, or Dave has. And I've not had a chance to look at this yet, but it's based on, obviously, H.P. Lovecraft. a board game based on the Mountains of Madness novella. I'm looking forward to diving into it. It looks like an interesting card game where you work your way up to the top of the mountain and try and escape, kind of thing. So it looks like it'll be fun. So we'll play that at some point, I'm sure. So thanks for that, guys. And also Dave as well. Got me some more Warlord epic stuff, and in fact he got me some French cavalry. These are the things I'm probably going to be painting actually next, I think. So this is the Grenadiers à Cheval of the Imperial Guard, so a set of those guys, and then also the Chasseurs à Cheval of the Imperial Guard as well. These are those resin casts, I think Sio cast or something I think it's called. There's quite a lot of detail on these. These are really nice figures, so I'm going to do those. I think there's 4 bases worth in each of these sets. That's pretty much all you're going to really need for the Waterloo for the level they're at, I think. So thanks massively for that, Dave. Really appreciate it. And they will, like I say, they will probably be on next on the painting table, I think. Chrissy got me this war art book. I think it's just something she'd had lying about rather than the present itself. But thank you very much for that, Chrissy. It was really appreciated. It's basically various bits of paintings and things that I'll not show you those. I'll not get monetized. Various paintings and things on from the Second World War across the MOD estate and other places where soldiers were based as well. So that's going to be quite an interesting read as well. But I've not really had a chance to have a look fully through that. My parents got me Two Sides of the Same Bad Penny, Gallipoli and the Western Front, a comparison book. This is from Helion. Edited by Michael Lociserio. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. I've never said it out loud. But there's some good authors in here. So just having a quick look in what we've got. We've got Clive Harris, Peter Hart, Gary Sheffield, Rob Thompson, who sadly passed away, I think about a year or so ago. Really interested in the logistics of the First World War. So interesting comparisons between the Western Front and Gallipoli campaigns, so that will be an interesting one. I like these kind of books. These are, a bit more academic than your normal, than your usual kind of popular histories on the First World War. A little bit more, as from what I can tell, is a bit more in depth from the usual, broad brush stroke stuff. This is real nerdy kind of thing, and I really like it. I do like it a lot. Came from my parents. Dex and Min also got me a ton of stuff. I'll go through this and explain the stories behind each one of them. The first one was he got me a book called The Civil War in Yorkshire. This, I'm assuming, is because I'd been talking previously. We played a game of Victory Without Quarter at the club, and I'd said at the time I have no particular interest or knowledge about the English Civil War, so I'm assuming this is why he's bought me this as a bit of an introduction to that conflict. So I will enjoy reading that. So thanks, Dex. He also got me this, a pointy stick as well, because Travis over at the TCPP uses one, and this will be very useful for pointing out things on videos. So I'm looking forward to using that. There's nothing like a good pointy stick, I think, and that will be a good one to use. He also got me as well a tape measure, and he's got a little sign on it that he's stuck on here, and it says, "Alex, this belongs to Alex. He hasn't forgotten it." The reason for this is because several months ago, Dex turned up at the club without a tape measure, and I said to him, "What kind of idiot turns up to a wargaming club without a tape measure?" A few weeks later, I also turned up at the club without a tape measure, and I'd forgotten mine. So thanks for that, Dex. I'll add it to my tape measure collection, then I'll not forget it. And then finally, he got me these as well. This made me laugh. It's a box full of Chupa Chup lollipops. And again, the reason for this, I think, is because when he ran his Peter Pig Games Day the other day, which was the game AK-47, he had a Chupa Chup for everybody on the tables, and I just went round hoovering them all up and eating them all. So he obviously realises that I like Chupa Chup. So thanks for that, Dex. That made me laugh a lot when I opened that. And then the other big thing, the thing that has set quite a lot of people off when I showed the picture the other day on the channel, is Danny and Lindsay and Son, if you're watching, thanks a million for this. I'm sure you were definitely behind it. they got me this Hero Quest, and it's the original Hero Quest as well. It's not the re-release one. This is the 1989-86 one that was originally released by MB Games in conjunction with Games Workshop. Absolutely brilliant. I was not expecting this at all, and apparently Danny found this. He said it was found on a treasure hunt trip, and I'm assuming that means they go around a lot of charity shops looking for things, so I wonder if he found it during that. But absolutely brilliant. I was absolutely stoked by this because I had this when I was a kid. I loved playing it. I think I had Space Crusade as well, the sister publication of it, set in space obviously, but I loved Hero Quest. It was a great game, and I'm fairly sure that everybody has by now seen the What Is Good About Hero Quest video. It is a great one. If you haven't checked it out, I'll put a link down below, but it's been good doing the rounds for many a year, and Hero Quest is still a great game. This is complete. It was even as complete as having the punch outs of the doors still in there. They'd not got rid of them, whoever had it before, and I think it looks like they'd only ever played 2 games of it, because there was only 2 of the forms were filled in when I opened it. Absolutely brilliant. Over the moon with this one, really. So thank you to Danny, Lindsay and Son, if you're watching. And we actually played a game of this as well, my wife and I made her play it on my birthday. She really enjoyed it, actually. When I say I made her play it, she did actually really enjoy it. And she wants to go back into it again, but she was beaten by some skeletons. Her elf and her barbarian got the beat down from skeletons. But yeah, it was good fun. It took me by massive nostalgia ride. And then speaking also of gaming, because we were spending Sunday kind of recovering, and then also our wedding anniversary, I asked Claire if she'd play Apiary with me, which is a game she'd got me for Christmas. I'd just not had a chance to play it. It's basically a game about space bees, but it's a worker placement game. You can only do so many things, but there's a really little clever mechanic in it, which I think is quite a new one in board games, whereas when you take up a space with your player and another player uses one of their pieces to take that space, your piece gets either knocked off the table or pushed into the next space. If it gets knocked off the table, it actually increases in its strength, so you can do more with it next time. So you've not lost it, but it gets better and better as the game goes on, and then eventually they go into hibernation. But it's a really clever little mechanic, and it makes you think exactly about where you're placing stuff and what you want to do. Great game. We played it twice. Both of us really enjoyed it both times, and I know it's not a war game as such, but it is well worth checking out if you want a really interesting board game. And also, I didn't go to the club this week because, as I said, I was travelling and I was just a bit tired when I got back. I'd been on the road for 3 days at that point, and I was, long drives between sites and things. So I decided not to go down to the club. I was going to play All Hell Let Loose with Paul and Alex, but as I say, I called off once I got back. I was just too tired to go out. But the week before, Dean brought down Godzilla board game. This is by Funko Pops. It's basically a monster fighting game. It's a card-driven board game as well, where you get to smash up houses and then also throw massive monsters around. And we had a great game. That was real good fun. I was playing as Megalon. I came second last. After Godzilla won, of course, then Mothra, then me, Megalon, and then it was, the name escapes me, it was Dex's character, and I can't remember who it was, so I'll have to come back to that at some point. But yes, great game, good fun, and I know Dean's been desperate to play it for a long time, so it was good to be able to get it out with a 4-player game. One last thing as well, when I was at the weekend, my uncle and aunt came across as well, and they brought me this typewritten transcript of somebody's account of the D-Day, June the 6th, 1944. Lieutenant Commander A.W. Adams on HMS Orestes, of part of the 18th MS Flotilla. Now, I've not had a chance to read this yet, but it's about 6 or 7 pages long. And I don't know how they got it. They did tell me, but I've forgotten. But it's an interesting first-hand account of one of the people on the ships, well, Lieutenant Commander, on one of the ships in the flotilla of the D-Day landing. So it's going to be quite interesting just to see how how it panned out from one particular person's viewpoint. So that will be interesting to read. So yeah, another little tidbit there, just from a long weekend of partying and fun, basically. So yeah, that's as much as I've got to say really this week. Thanks for watching, as always. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. If you're going to buy any of the Warlord stuff, please also check out their affiliate link, which is down below. And if you really want to help out the channel, you could join my Patreon. You could also join channel memberships as well, and you will get these videos ad free and also early as well than they go public. One more thing I'm going to mention is, speaking of videos, I've got one video that I'm currently working on at the moment. I've written the script for, I just need to record it and then just do some of the shooting. But recently there's been a lot of talk about lack of movement in chain of command. So I'm making a video all about how you move about the tabletop in chain of command, what tools there are in the game itself to help you. This comes off the back of a recent review of Second World War rules that has made quite an impact in various places. Excuse me. But I thought I would respond by, rather than doing a rant about not being able to move in chain of command, just show you how it's done. So that's going to be something that'll be coming out soon. Next week's video is a chat with Yorkshire Gamer and Seventh Son, Martin and Ken. We talked about what is good about historical wargaming, so that is going to be coming out next week, so check out that. That'll be on Friday. And until then, I will see you in the next Storm of Steel video.